Something extraordinary happened with Andrew Flintoff during the Ashes, and it changed English cricket forever. In moments when England needed belief, strength, and courage, Flintoff rose with fearless intent. He did not just play the game, he carried a nation's expectations on his shoulders. Against relentless pressure, hostile crowds, and elite opposition, he delivered performances that shifted momentum and revived hope. His presence alone altered the tone of the contest. This is not simply a story about talent or athleticism. It is the story of a player who became larger than the series itself, whose actions turned despair into belief, and whose impact redefined what heroism looked like on the biggest stage. To understand Andrew Flintoff, one must understand the meaning of responsibility under pressure. Flintoff was not simply a gifted all-rounder, he was a presence that carried emotional weight. From early in his career, it was clear that he thrived when expectation was highest and stakes were unavoidable. He did not retreat from pressure, he absorbed it and transformed it into purpose. Andrew Flintoff emerged during a period when England cricket desperately needed identity and belief, especially in the Ashes. The rivalry demanded more than skill. It demanded resilience, courage, and leadership under extreme scrutiny. Flintoff embodied all three. His physical strength, competitive fire, and emotional investment made him a figure who could shift the atmosphere of an entire series. What separated Flintoff from many contemporaries was his instinctive understanding of moments. He seemed to know when a match was drifting and when it needed force. Whether with ball, bat, or presence in the field, he influenced games in ways that statistics alone could not explain. His performances often came when England were vulnerable, when momentum threatened to slip away. Flintoff was also deeply human. He played with visible emotion, frustration, joy, and determination. This honesty connected him with teammates and supporters alike. He was not distant or mechanical. He carried the weight of expectation openly, and that openness turned pressure into motivation rather than burden. As the Ashes intensified, Flintoff evolved from a talented cricketer into a symbol of resistance and belief. His role extended beyond performance. He became the emotional engine of the team, someone England could rally around. This transformation is central to understanding why Andrew Flintoff is remembered not just as a great player, but as an Ashes hero whose influence reshaped belief during the most demanding contests. The unusual behavior began when Andrew Flintoff started responding to pressure in ways that defied expectation. In situations where players often retreated into caution, Flintoff moved forward with intent. He bowled longer spells than expected, took physical punishment without complaint, and demanded the ball when the contest was at its most intense. This was not recklessness, it was responsibility expressed through action. Flintoff approached the Ashes as a personal challenge. When England were under attack, he did not wait for momentum to return naturally. He attempted to seize it. His body language changed the tone of matches. A single over bowled with aggression, a hard-earned boundary, or a committed fielding effort could shift belief across the team. These moments did not always appear in scorecards, but they were felt immediately. Opponents began to notice this pattern. When Flintoff became involved, the atmosphere sharpened. His presence created urgency. Australian batters understood that spells from Flintoff were not merely about wickets, but about dominance and psychological pressure. He bowled with visible intensity, attacking both the batter and the situation. This behavior was unusual because it carried emotional weight. Flintoff did not separate himself from the contest. He embraced it fully. He celebrated fiercely, reacted visibly, and showed vulnerability when things went wrong. In a sport often associated with restraint, restraint, this openness stood out. Within the England team, this approach had a powerful effect. Teammates fed off his energy. When belief dipped, Flintoff's commitment restored it. His actions suggested that matches could still be controlled through effort, courage, and refusal to yield. This pattern marked the beginning of Flintoff's transformation. He was no longer just contributing, he was shaping moments. His unusual behavior was the first sign that he was becoming more than a player. He was becoming the emotional center of England's Ashes campaign. As Andrew Flintoff's influence grew, so did the questions around him. Coaches, selectors, and commentators attempted to understand what made him so intense and, at times, so physically strained. His workload was heavy. His body absorbed punishment repeatedly. Injuries appeared, disappeared, and returned. Many wondered whether his approach was sustainable or whether he was pushing himself beyond reasonable limits. From the outside, concerns seemed logical. Flintoff bowled long, aggressive spells, often when England were already under pressure. He threw himself into fielding without hesitation, diving, sprinting, and colliding with the ground. With the bat, he played innings that demanded physical and mental toughness. Observers questioned whether this constant emotional and physical investment was harming him in the long term. Attempts were made to manage him more carefully. Discussions about workload, fitness, and longevity became frequent. Some believed Flintoff needed protection from himself. Others worried that his emotional intensity could not be maintained across a long series. The Ashes, after all, punish even the strongest players. Yet these attempts often misunderstood the core of Flintoff's identity. He was not driven solely by strategy or instruction. He was driven by responsibility. When England were under threat, he felt compelled to act. Restraint, for him, felt unnatural. Pulling back did not preserve him. It frustrated him. Opponents also misread him. They assumed physical pressure would break him. Instead, it sharpened his resolve. When targeted, Flintoff responded with greater intent, greater aggression, and deeper focus. Pressure clarified his purpose rather than weakening it. Over time, it became clear that nothing was truly wrong with Flintoff. The issue was not misjudgment or lack of control. The issue was that he operated on emotional commitment rather than conservation. His performances revealed that his intensity was not a flaw to be corrected, but the source of his greatest impact during the Ashes. Despite the discussions, the management plans, and the repeated warnings, one pattern refused to change. Andrew Flintoff kept returning to the same defining moment: England under pressure in the Ashes. No matter the format, no matter the condition of his body, his focus narrowed when the contest demanded leadership. This fixation was not visible in statistics. It appeared in timing, posture, and intent. Flintoff's attention locked onto moments where the balance of the match was most fragile. When the crowd grew tense, when momentum threatened to slip away, he positioned himself at the center of the action. He bowled when others rested. He demanded the ball when plans suggested caution. It was as if he believed that the Ashes required personal sacrifice to shift its direction. This mindset became the central problem. England's reliance on Flintoff deepened, and so did the risk. Every spell carried weight beyond the over itself. Every boundary conceded felt personal. He was no longer just responding to situations. He was carrying the emotional load of the contest. Physically, the toll was obvious. Mentally, the strain accumulated quietly. Yet Flintoff refused to step back. His fixation on influence, on altering outcomes directly, prevented him from disengaging even when recovery was necessary. The Ashes, to him, were not just a series. They were a responsibility that demanded presence. This created suspense within the story of his career. Could a player sustain such intensity without consequence? Could emotional leadership coexist with physical preservation? The uncertainty grew with every spell he bowled and every boundary he hit. Flintoff stood at a crossroads between control and commitment. His fixation on decisive moments defined his greatness, but it also placed him in constant confrontation with his own limits. That tension would soon reveal its true purpose. The first unmistakable clue of Andrew Flintoff's Ashes heroism came during moments when England appeared most vulnerable. It was in those high-pressure sessions when wickets fell in clusters or when momentum shifted in favor of Australia that Flintoff's influence became impossible to ignore. His presence on the field, whether with ball, bat, or even through sheer energy, altered the course of matches in subtle yet profound ways. Flintoff's interventions were deliberate. A spell of fast, aggressive bowling would force the opposition to rethink plans. A powerful boundary or a quick single changed the tempo and reassured teammates. Even fielding brilliance, a diving stop or a crucial catch, sent ripples of belief through the side. These moments revealed a player whose instinct for timing and understanding of pressure was exceptional. His actions were both practical and psychological, simultaneously affecting the scoreboard and the mental state of both teams. Observers began to recognize the pattern. Flintoff did not rely on luck or hope. His aggression had structure. His timing had purpose. Pressure did not intimidate him, it sharpened him. He consistently found ways to influence outcomes in situations where others faltered, proving that his impact went beyond statistics. This first clue confirmed that Flintoff's heroism was not occasional. It was rooted in his ability to embrace responsibility, to rise under scrutiny, and to act decisively when it mattered most. His Ashes performances revealed the blueprint of a player who could consistently alter the narrative of a series through courage, instinct, and sheer willpower. The truth about Andrew Flintoff's Ashes heroism eventually became undeniable. His greatness did not rely solely on runs scored, wickets taken, or catches completed. It was rooted in his ability to impose presence, energy, and belief at decisive moments. Flintoff thrived under conditions that would overwhelm most players, transforming pressure into opportunity and vulnerability into action. Throughout the Ashes, patterns emerged that revealed the secret of his influence. When Australia applied relentless pressure, Flintoff responded with intensity and determination. When England appeared on the back foot, he created hope through a spell of incisive bowling, a crucial boundary, or an unwavering attitude on the field. His actions shifted momentum, changed perception, and inspired his teammates to believe in the possibility of victory, even in dire circumstances. The big reveal was that Flintoff's heroism was not accidental or sporadic. It was a product of fearless commitment combined with an acute understanding of timing and impact. He knew when to attack, when to rally, and when to inspire. His courage was methodical, his instinct purposeful. Where others relied on technique alone, Flintoff relied on both skill and audacity, using presence itself as a weapon. Flintoff's legacy in the Ashes is a reminder that influence can extend beyond numbers. He demonstrated that one individual's fearless approach, combined with responsibility and timing, can alter the course of contests and uplift an entire team. The revelation is clear. Flintoff's true power lay in his ability to convert pressure into decisive action, redefining heroism in the Ashes forever. Andrew Flintoff's career, particularly during the Ashes, offers a profound lesson about courage, responsibility, and the power of presence. True impact is not always measured by statistics alone. Sometimes it is measured by the ability to inspire, to shift momentum, and to carry belief when it is needed most. Flintoff demonstrated that greatness often requires embracing pressure rather than avoiding it, and committing fully to the moments that define outcomes. His story also illustrates the importance of individuality within a team. Flintoff's willingness to act decisively, even at personal risk, showed that exceptional talent flourishes when combined with freedom, trust, and self-belief. Systems and strategies may guide performance, but they cannot replace the influence of character, courage, and instinct. Ultimately, Flintoff's Ashes heroism is defined not by perfection, but by impact. He became the emotional and physical engine of his team, reminding us that leadership, commitment, and fearless action can turn uncertainty into opportunity. His legacy endures as a symbol of how determination, courage, and unwavering focus can shape history and redefine what it means to be a hero.